Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report. I'm your host, Matthew Peterson, and on today's show, we have 3 Browns Week 9 overreactions. Or are they even overreactions? We're going to unpack all that. A lot to talk about following the Browns' heroic win in Cincinnati, beating down on their little brother, the Cincinnati Bengals, in what felt like an absolute must-win game. You just kind of felt the momentum going away from the Browns middle of the season. Can they capture it back? And that's exactly what they did. And they did it without, of course, the name I don't want to say, but Odell Beckham Jr. First overreaction here on the show. Browns are better without OBJ. The experiment is over. You can attribute the blame to whoever you like. I think majority of it should go to Kevin Stefanski, honestly, although he was not the one that made the trade. He wasn't there when the trade took place, but still, you had a big Ferrari in your car, in your garage, and you never put the keys in it, in my opinion. But are the Browns better without OBJ? To me, that's not really an overreaction, and the numbers support that, okay? The team will go as far as Baker Mayfield will take them. So you want to look at what Baker Mayfield's been able to do with and without OBJ? Well, I sat down and I scrubbed through Pro Football Reference, and I got the numbers for you here. So here's on the left with OBJ, and on the right, it's without OBJ. 27 games with him, 13 without him. Without him, he's got 6 points higher of a completion percentage. Without him, he's got more yards per game. Without him, his touchdown to interception ratio is better. Essentially across the board, Baker Mayfield plays better when OBJ is not on the field. I'm not a quarterback guru, so for me it's not easy to identify why that is the case, but it's without a doubt a case that's already made. The evidence is right in front of you, but overall, to me, this is a missed opportunity, and I'm going to beat this drum because, sure, the Browns are going to be better without OBJ, and Baker Mayfield's better without OBJ, but you shouldn't be. OBJ, is he overrated? Sure. Is he riding off that one catch against the Giants, against the Cowboys when he was with the Giants? Probably a little bit, but regardless, he was paid $15 million a year, and he looked more like a $15 receiver out there. And a bulk of that has to go on Stefanski. And Stefanski admitted that. He said, it's on me to get him involved more in the game plan. And for whatever reason, it didn't work out. You can chop it up to Stefanski, OBJ, and Baker Mayfield. All 3 of them have some sort of partial blame. Up to you how much of that pie you want to give to those 3 respective people. But at the end of the day, it was a missed opportunity. OBJ should have made this Browns team better, and it just didn't work out. Having said that, though, do you miss OBJ? I think I know the answer. I think when Baker Mayfield hit up DPJ, a different PJ, or a different J at the end, for a huge touchdown in Week 9 against the Bengals, that kind of solidified Baker Mayfield can still go deep without a guy that was paid to be their deep threat guy. So type OBJ for yes or NOBJ for no. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments section below. Next Week 9 overreaction. Cleveland will win the AFC North. At the beginning of this year, it looked like the NFC West and maybe the AFC West, after the hot start they got on, were going to be the 2 best divisions in football. Now it looks like the AFC North very well may be the best. But for now, are the Browns going to win the AFC North? It's an overreaction for the time being. The Browns got to play the Ravens twice still, and that's right in front of them. That's up for grabs. They control their own destiny in that fate. But for now, with the way the Ravens are playing and just the way that Lamar Jackson's able to erase these huge deficits time and time again, if the Vikings were to have held on to beat Baltimore on Sunday, I would be way more in this camp. But because the Ravens are 6-2, and they also control their destiny playing Cleveland twice, just like the Browns play the Ravens twice, which is the most bizarre scheduling quirk we'll talk about in a moment, it's an overreaction for now. Before we get into that a little bit more, guys, if you are new to the Cleveland Browns Report, if you're a first-time watcher, go ahead and spam the comment section with me. Type ME down below. We welcome Browns fans from all faces of the world. Come on down to the Cleveland Browns Report. So go ahead and spam the comments with me if you are new to the channel. We are happy to have you here. Why don't you go ahead and hit that big red button while you're in the comment section as well. Now I want to look at the AFC North standings here. As we record this, the Steelers have not played Monday Night Football yet against the Chicago Bears, so that's going to throw some things out for a whack. If the Steelers lose, which, fingers crossed, they're 4-4, they move to the bottom of the AFC North. But 5-4, you're looking uphill against the Ravens. If you could beat Baltimore twice, and you check out the Browns' schedule right now, they've got it all in front of them, and it's not easy. So they're going to go to New England this weekend. The Patriots have been looking more like the Patriots we all know them as the last couple of weeks, knocking off the Chargers on the road and going to Carolina. And Bill Belichick is just a nightmare for Sam Darnold, no matter what team he's on. Week 11 versus the Lions has to be a win. Nothing more to say about it. Week 12 against the Ravens on the road. Then you get a bye, and you play the Ravens back-to-back, essentially. And then finally a redemption game against the Raiders after that letdown loss a year ago at home. So the Browns' schedule, it's all right in front of them. It's up for grabs. Let's just keep our fingers crossed they can go out and put up some wins. Maybe go on a bit of a rally here. Who knows? It's the NFL. Any given Sunday. Just ask the Broncos about that, or even the Jags, who knocked off the Bills. Brown fans, we have a great deal with you at our sportsbook partner, BetUS. When you use that promo code, Browns125, they're going to hook you up with a 125% deposit bonus after you visit the link at the bottom of your screen. 2 simple steps. But here's where it gets even better. Not only are you going to get a 125% deposit bonus when you follow those 2 steps, you are in line to get a free jersey. This isn't a raffle. This isn't 1 out of 10 Browns fans. You are getting a free jersey. Christmas is right around the corner, and all you got to do is follow those 4 steps on the screen right next to me. Take a picture, take a screenshot, do what you got to do, and boom. Christmas morning, your loved one is opening, say, a Nick Chubb jersey, or even a Baker Mayfield jersey. You pick the size, you pick the color. All you got to do is follow these 4 steps right here. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Browns125. You sign up, you put $100 in, boom, you get $125 deposit bonus. Now you get $225 to play with, and all you need to do is email us jersey@chatsports with your BetUS account number and a screenshot of your first bet. Just those 2 things along with these simple steps right here. And not only do you have $225 to play with, but you also just got a free Christmas present to give to someone else or give to yourself. I don't care how you do it at home. Christmas, I got producer Coop here. He's doing Hanukkah. Whatever you're doing come December, get locked in with BetUS. Get a free jersey on us when you follow those 4 steps. And also, BetUS, they got some great deals going on and some great odds to get on. Look at the AFC North winner odds right now. Ravens 175, the Browns at plus 425. What that means, if you're unfamiliar, if you bet $100, you don't have to bet $100, but if you bet $100, you're going to win $425. So that's what that means right there, as opposed to if you bet on the Ravens, you got to bet $175 to get $100. Guys, the Browns at plus 425, I like that value a ton, especially because they have to play the Ravens twice, so they control their own destiny in those games. Let's get up to our final Week 9 overreaction. Baker Mayfield will get the bag. Speaking of money like BetUS, Baker Mayfield, he's probably looking at a little bit more than a 125% deposit bonus. He is doing all he can right now to try and get that contract extension. To me, this is not an overreaction. I don't think GM Andrew Berry wants to enter the quarterback cycle of finding a new quarterback if he doesn't want to bring Baker Mayfield back. I do think that the rest of the season will be obviously a huge influence on whether or not Baker Mayfield gets that big extension. Before we dive into that a little bit more, if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe right now to the channel. Scroll on down, hit that big red button, come back and join the video. We're knocking on the door right there. We're inching closer and closer. We're climbing up. So help us get over this threshold right now. Subscribe to the channel today. So, talking about Baker Mayfield, right now he's on track to be the 24th highest paid quarterback in 2022. That's going to change after the season ends with other quarterbacks getting new deals, quarterbacks getting drafted, their contracts and things like that. But he's under contract through next season only. I really doubt the Browns go into next season with a lame duck quarterback who's on the last year of his deal and lets him play it out. That's not something you do if you believe Baker Mayfield is the future of your franchise. So I think a deal is going to be worked out, or there won't be a deal worked out. But I just don't see them entering next season with a prove it this year for us and then we'll give you a deal. But I do believe for GM Andrew Berry, Baker is probably the best option. If you're a GM who's new to the team like Berry is, you don't want to, 2 years in, quit on your veteran-ish, your young, your first overall quarterback, and go draft a quarterback if you don't have a top pick. That's a big gamble, and the Browns hopefully won't have a top pick. And then 2, there's not a really sexy free agent market after this season for the Browns. I'm looking at some names right now of players that quarterbacks that are going to be free agents. Kirk Cousins, he's going to be a free agent then. Is Kirk Cousins that much better than Baker Mayfield? Well, that's open for interpretation. I don't think so, especially for what Kirk Cousins gets paid, especially. Jimmy G, absolutely not. Take Baker over Jimmy G any day of the week. And then Derek Carr, DC. Derek Carr kind of has ups and downs. I don't think he is someone you'd want to go out as a GM and make your next franchise quarterback. It just doesn't make sense to me. So let's check out the highest paid quarterbacks in 2022. This is average salary right here. I think if you're looking at where Baker Mayfield's going to slot in, he's not going to be anywhere in this top 5. I just don't see him cracking or getting ahead of any of these names. Now, there are two things to keep in mind. One, the salary cap is going to go way up. So teams are going to be able to spend more money. Two, it's a beat-me-now kind of salary in league, right? So everyone wants to one-up one another, all right? So for me, even if Baker gets paid more than this quarterback, I don't think that necessarily means that they're viewed as a better quarterback, but it's all about topping the previous paid guy. To me, this is more of Baker Mayfield's range. Jared Goff is dramatically overpaid, but I think Goff fits right. I beg your pardon. I think Baker fits right around that Matt Ryan to Kirk Cousins range. I think that's where he slots in. Now, you can kind of see what happens if you overpay a quarterback like Carson Wentz, who really hasn't lived up to that huge $32 million contract that the Colts are on the hook for right now. But I think that's where Baker is. But I want to make this a conversation that's two ways. I want to let you guys in on it. So what would you pay Baker Mayfield per year? Let me know what number are you in the 30 million? Are you in the 25? Keep in mind, it's inflation, right? Not only in the economy, but also in salary caps. These numbers will continue to go up and up and up every single year. So to me, I think 33 million sounds about right. That puts you at about sixth, seventh highest paid quarterback. I bet Lamar Jackson's going to get more than that, so that would knock Baker down a little bit. But 33 to me, with the cap going up, you lock him down, you make him the guy for years to come. You don't want to enter a quarterback carousel. You don't want to start gambling on rookie quarterbacks because Browns fans know that how that's worked out. We don't want Brandon Weeden 2.0. So you lock Baker down. Whether or not you think he is a first overall pick kind of quarterback, doesn't really matter at this point. He's the quarterback at the moment. You know how bad it's been. I think you give him about $33 million. Also, Browns fans, before we wrap up the video, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, @MatthewPeedy. Getting on all the fun. I'm talking Browns, talking NFL, shooting the shit all the time on my Twitter. So if you have not already, follow me on Twitter today.